bring me nicely to the next point, right? In
Okay.
terms of modern adaptations, what's your thoughts on Naruto, Bleach, and back to the big old one, One Piece?
So the big three.
The big three, the golden arches.
I'm not sure. Art-wise, they are very similar.
Well,
But
before we do that, let's just break down what we are referring to. So,
okay.
so guys, so if you're only watching in the current generation, maybe you didn't watch all the past ones. In the 2010s and 2000s, we had like the biggest were Naruto, Bleach, and One Piece.
Yeah.
Mostly in the West, we identified them as the big three, kind of buried in Japan. But what each of these have surprisingly lasted into the current generation. Weirdly enough, One Piece due to length. Bleach finally getting its final arc animated, the Thousand Year
Yeah.
Blood War, and Naruto having its sequel, Boruto.
Yes.
And so I guess in terms of these three, why don't we just discuss our thoughts on them, where they are, and then we can maybe do a ranking of them.
Ranking just one to
I mean, I know where you're gonna land, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm very biased. Okay. So I think in terms of which one aged better, right? I think One Piece still aged better.
Okay.
However, I do have to give credit to Bleach because I didn't think it was gonna be good when I first saw it, and it's really decent. I would say it's better than Boruto because I'm not entirely sure what happened to Boruto, and I'm not sure if it could be a representation of Naruto. To be honest, I don't know if we should treat Boruto as something completely separate from Naruto or actually them together.
Let me make that case. I think Boruto is an unfortunate consequence of the rushed ending of Naruto. Right?
Could be.
Boruto as a character and most of the kid characters in Boruto, I actually think are incredibly well written. But they're hampered by this very annoying alien plot that was randomly introduced at the end of Naruto.
It is so weird.
If you had Boruto just focused on Boruto in the same way that Naruto was focused on Naruto as a kid and kind of growing into being a ninja and his philosophy around it, you'd actually have a really cool, interesting character. But whenever Naruto, and I think that's the parts that a lot of people in Naruto do appreciate when they do watch Boruto. They're like, oh, I love that Boruto got to see the old village, got to see this old character, got to really embody this thing.
It's kind of nostalgia.
Yeah, exactly, but then it always gets ruined when suddenly we have alien character number 5 comes in and has meta destroyed the city and what we can do.
I don't even have issues with that though. Because my main issue, so yeah, the alien thing, it's weird. It is weird. It's so weird.
It's a thing that every mangaka seems to pivot to for some weird reason.
But I don't mind it too much because it could be a cool way to explain how chakra got into the world, right? Because Kaguya descended from whatever place they are, right? Exactly. And there's this whole race of beings that are able to do these things. I don't mind that as much. What I don't like is the introduction of a turtle that apparently can travel through time, and you can jump into this turtle, and you can also go through time.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's anime only.
Was that only in the anime? Because I didn't read the manga of Boruto.
Yeah, so I think it's anime if I'm correct. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it's anime only because I think they were trying to nostalgia bait a bunch of people back into the original.
Okay, because that makes me happy. That makes me happy because if that thing is canon, I don't
believe so. No.
I would hate it.
Well, that's the thing. It's like if you read the Boruto manga, which you don't have to, but we're talking about anime adaptations. But I'll bring that into a second. The Boruto manga is actually just not badly written. Like, it's not perfect. I'm not gonna put it on the level of the original Naruto, but it's very decent. It has a lot of cool powers, a lot of cool systems. I actually like Boruto's character. He's not nearly as whiny.
I'm sure it does, but I still have other issues other than the time traveling turtle. So why would we nerf our main characters? Why would we gouge out Sasuke's eye? Why would we take away Kurama? Why would we do this to some of... I understand that the new power system, it can't handle the fact that we have overpowered characters from the previous generation. I understand that. But isn't there a better way to handle it?
Well, I personally actually think I agree with this criticism a lot, because one thing I don't understand is we didn't have to have Boruto be as strong as Naruto. And I think this is the biggest issue with the manga. Because it wants to create a spectacle, they want Boruto to be this powerhouse.
Okay, then give him the tools.
But I don't think they even needed to do that. I think Boruto's character works because he's weaker than Naruto. But his focus is not to be as strong as Naruto. He's almost like how would I describe him? Imagine like an assassin, right? Like an assassin doesn't have to be as strong as a knight, right? They just have to be somebody that exists in controlling the paradigms between the people. And that's why I think Boruto works as strong as a character. Forcing him to be as strong as Naruto, as you said, creates this problem where you take away Kurama, you have to take away Sasuke's abilities, because otherwise they'll never be able to match up to them.
Yeah, it's so weird. It's so annoying.
But also the issue is that they're also still the strongest characters, even without these powers.
It's so weird. It's like going into the world of Dragon Ball and suddenly saying, well, you know what? I want Krillin to be really strong.
I mean, they technically did that.
Hey.
Why are you really gonna convince me that Krillin and Goku were supposedly roughly equal?
Hold on. Hold it there. Here's the thing, okay? The purpose of Goku going blue was not because Krillin was pushing him to go blue. Okay, that is not the purpose.
How did he survive it?
Shush! I'm laying it out. I'm explaining it to you. Just listen, okay? So, if you remember old Dragon Ball, I mean first Dragon Ball, where it was all about the martial arts tournaments, Krillin and Goku trained together under Master Roshi.
Yeah.
Okay. And they had this rule: when they would fight each other, they would go all out against each other because they wanted to see who was the better man.
Sure.
Now, lots of things have happened in Dragon Ball where Krillin can no longer match to Goku.
Agreed.
Okay? But the whole purpose of that scene, of that whole fight scene, the way that it's laid out, and you can tell by the way that the characters are interacting with each other, Krillin, in its own right, is a master martial artist.
Sure.
Okay? And he's smart. The reason why Goku gave him a glimpse of what he's capable of and gave him the courtesy of going all out for Krillin is out of respect for Krillin as a master, as a martial artist. Okay?
Cool.
It's not because Goku was being pushed towards that length.
No.
And
that's not my argument.
And the reason why he survives, it's because obviously Goku was still holding back when he deals the final blow.
Okay, fine. Argue the outcome of it. Why doesn't he just get Yamcha'd? He still got bodied through 1,000 buildings. At that point, wouldn't the smarter thing to be for Krillin to go, you know what, it's not my place anymore, let me step out of this?
No, of course not. Because Krillin is still in the pursuit of being a martial artist. He didn't give up.
He gave up 8 years ago.
No.
The best scene in all of Dragon Ball, right? The best scene to me is...
How did we deviate from the big three to this?
We'll get back to that in a second. The best scene in all of Dragon Ball Z is when Tien Shin Han, Yamcha, and Krillin all admit that the Saiyans are far outstretching anything they're capable of, so they don't feel the need to keep up their mastery. The only person who says they want to keep it up is Tien Shin, right? But Krillin says he wants to go back to doing a normal life and not being a father, and Yamcha wants to go back to baseball. How did he go from that to I want to be a martial artist again?
So it was not that way. So he was a normal citizen for a long time.
Yes.
Right? And one of the things that Super did well is the fact that 18, right? She is the one that actually says, look, you've been miserable, kind of. Because, yeah, you fight off bad guys, you're a policeman, but you're not truly happy. You're not really doing what you like.
Okay.
Because Krillin truly loves being a martial artist. That's always been his ID. His identity has always been, I'm Krillin, I'm a martial artist, and I fight people. That's always been what he does. The thing is, it got a bit lost, right? And it got a bit lost when he got involved in Namek with Freezer, when he died.
Yeah.
Then he had to be resurrected. Everything got a bit out of hand. But at its core, when the Tournament of Power comes...
But the core problem still isn't solved. The core problem is the Saiyan scaling ruins everything that's worth training for this.
Yeah, of course, he will never fight off Moro.
Sure.
Or any or Beerus, right? It's not his opponent. But to participate in a tournament of martial artists from different universes, I think he has his place in that tournament.
Fine, I'll give you that. I want to go back to the original adaptation discussion.
Okay.
Go. So
fair.
If you guys want it, we'll have a proper super debate another time, right? Okay. So back to the original point. So I would say generally you're right. Boruto as an animation is the weakest. Not only I think does it betray the manga in many ways and depicts Boruto in a way that makes him a lot more unlikable than he actually is, but I think that it does create a vacuum. Now I'm gonna make maybe a controversial take to many One Piece fans. I think Bleach, Thousand Year Blood War, at least as a story, animated wise, is better than current One Piece.
Okay.
My reasoning behind this is this. I personally do not love the Thousand Year Blood War. I genuinely think it's Tite's most rushed work, in the manga anyway. But that's what the anime has two incredibly strong advantages over current One Piece, right? Which is that one, it has adapted the manga, making it way less confusing. So a lot of the plot elements that didn't make sense in the manga have now been kind of ironed out and stripped away.
Yeah.
Also, modern Bleach has YouTube, which means that a lot of YouTube creators and content creators are able to explain a lot of the things that maybe weren't as clear in the manga and the anime, making a lot of these scenes kind of stand out more symbolically and more interestingly.
Yeah.
In comparison to One Piece, and I'm gonna ignore Elbaf for now because I'm only talking about up to this point, right? There is still a lot of pacing issues.
Okay.
And not just pacing issues, depictions of especially Sanji as a character actually make him worse off than the way Oda originally writes him, which has been very important in these current arcs.
Okay. There's no anime ever that can compare to One Piece in terms of animation in the later years. It has won awards in lots of its episodes.
Yeah, they have the best of the best. Visually stunning, top of the top. We can agree on that.
Pacing, I can agree, it is bad pacing. But I don't think One Piece is still running on the old format. Just now, okay, One Piece season 1, it's 1,000 episodes.
Yeah, I agree. Hence why we're talking up till now. I 100% think Elbaf is gonna outpace all of them. But
So
if we're talking up till now, though,
but I still think One Piece aged better. Because even though it kept the old format, and it can compete with any other new animes that came out in all seasons, right? And it was a year-long running show. And it could compete with all new anime, JJK.
Yeah, but
My Hero.
That's not really fair to compare it though, because.
But it managed to compete with newer anime, with fresh stories.
It's not really competing. It's a worldwide anime. Everything is competing with One Piece.
Yeah, and the fact that Bleach came out with lots of years in between, actually, where it ended, and where
Almost
it is
a
now.
decade.
Yeah, it was almost 10 years later, so they had lots of times to plan this out. They had lots of time to actually lay things out, to explore the manga, to see where the mistakes were, to actually fix things. You don't have the same time to do that with One Piece, so I can forgive One Piece a bit more, and for me that's completely unbiased.
Objective reality here, right?
Objectively speaking, it aged better. I think we can agree that Naruto is at the bottom.
Yeah, we both agree. Like,
Although I really like Naruto, though, it is sad because I like when I was growing up, I liked Naruto more than I'd liked One Piece and Bleach.
I think Naruto was a perfect storm, though. I think Naruto really took a lot of elements from Shonen that was just like well written, like power systems and scared characters.
You remember the first season of Naruto?
Yeah, exactly.
It's so good.
It's
so good.
But I would say, in terms of longevity, when I look at Naruto, I don't think he had a long plan in mind. There was no like goal. Like the original Naruto was primarily about Naruto as a character becoming Hokage, wanting to become someone stronger. Then he kind of transitioned into political tension. And honestly, if I'm being credit, Shippuden's understanding of politics is beautiful. Like if you look at it from a political standpoint,
it's well written.
But it clashes so hard with the characters and their power system and the logic and all that stuff. It puts a lot of unfortunate faith on there. So I'm like, with Naruto, when I speak to a lot of fans, I think they have the same thing as you. It's like, it's my childhood series. It's the thing I watched first. But as a thing that was supposed to go on as long as it did, I don't think it was ever meant to get that long.
Yeah, I think it didn't age well, but it started off really.
It started off really powerfully, and it
just didn't age as well as the others, though.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
If Bleach never had this 1,000-year Blood War arc,
well, Bleach
probably would be better than Bleach.
Well, the thing is, Bleach, I don't know, because the thing of Bleach that I give credit, right? Bleach itself, I don't think is an incredibly written story, but Tite knows this, and he's very like he's very simplistic about what he chooses to write.
Yeah.
So rather than focusing on trying to make incredibly deep stories, he's focused on trying to make good elements of the story, and that kind of carries through. The only thing in Bleach that I find disappointing is Ichigo deviating from being a fighter and becoming more of like a hero character. I preferred him when he was more in Soul Society arc, where he was more like, I want to run the fade with everybody.
Yeah. When he was just pull up. Have a taste of these hands. That was good.
I learned how to use the sword yesterday. I'm ready. He pulled up on Yamamoto.
So true.
He pulled up on the top king of Soul Society and was like, "Run it! I'm ready to run the fade."
That is so true. That is so true. He was like peak testosterone ridden.
Such a cool character. Like the character that created the meme that calling an ambulance, not for me, but for all of you guys.
That was actually Ichigo back then.